I want to mention about the color of this sign and something that might come up in a future video. Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Like I said, I got me another motorcycle. This is a 2021 Indian Chieftain Limited. I picked this up a couple weeks ago. Another one of those Facebook market deals that I got. This has got around 2,600 miles or so when I picked it up. I picked it up here locally about 2.5 hours away. I went down and rode it back, rode it home. The gentleman that owned it, he had it for a couple hundred miles, and his plan was to ride across country, but some other circumstances came up, and his wife had told him that he had to keep one of the bikes and let one of them go. So, I went ahead and dealt with, got some dealings with him, and we came to a compromise on the deal and everything. So, I'll just gonna show you guys around real quick before I jump on and take it for a ride and take y'all out. But a lot of these upgrades were done by the original owner. The guy that I bought it off of, he was the second owner. So, the original owner that owned it didn't skimp on any of the upgrades. This is a Indian tour pack that was added. It's got the power band audio speakers in the back here, Indian seat. It's got a heated and cool Indian seat for both the passenger and the rider as well. Other upgrades included were the rear crash bars added right here, the passenger pegs as well. Well, I'll say the passenger floorboards. Of course, the crash bars come standard on the Limited. I'm not for certain about the windshield, if this is stock or if this is the upgraded version of it and all too. Also, let's see, there was tab performance exhaust was added to this. I'm not for certain, but the tab performance exhaust was added for this too. I'm not for certain if that has the zombie baffles on it. I've been doing some reading about that and all too, but it definitely is loud. And then the Indian high-flow intake was added as well. So it's basically got a stage 1 on it. So it has a tune. I'm not for certain what it's tuned by, if it's an Indian stage 1 tune or if it's any type of third-party aftermarket tune as well, but it sounds good. It runs great. No issues at all, no leaks, nothing under there. It's a clean bike. Rides awesome. I've been looking at Chieftains, I've been looking at Challengers, I've been looking at Springfields. I've been looking at them for quite a while now, as you guys know. I've been doing a lot of demos, and I looked at new bikes, and I'll tell you, for what this is and everything that's got added to it, it was hard to beat. It was a great deal. It was an awesome deal. It was really hard to beat that. I mean, comparison to what a new one would cost, yeah, new ones are quite pricey. But for getting a good solid used bike, I mean, you can't go wrong here. But yeah, like I said, it's a great used bike. It's been well taken care of. The upgrades on it, like I said, they didn't skimp on the upgrades as well. I mean, everything is pristine. It's in excellent condition. I also forgot to mention on the other side here, he did put a heel toe shifter on it as well, and that makes it nice. I've never had a heel toe shifter before, so I'm getting a little used to that, but that is very convenient. So guys, you're probably wondering what it sounds like. Well, let's fire it up and see what it sounds like. This will be the first time I'm firing it up on camera, so I don't know how it's going to sound on the audio, so cover your ears if you got your speakers or your headphones turned up. Get powered on here. It's got the Indian Ride Command as well on it, and Apple CarPlay, all that other fancy stuff as well. Let's turn that audio down. Alright. In neutral. Alright. Alright guys. Well, y'all ready to take a ride? Let's do it. Alright guys. What's up everybody? There we go. Put this lid down. We're on the new bike for the channel, the 21 Indian Chieftain Limited. First ride, first moto vlog, first introduction. Super comfortable bike. Yeah, like I said, when I bought it, it was about a two and a half hour ride home, and I did pretty much all interstate. Did some back roads on the way home, but it did excellent. And it's got the stage 1 on it. Tabs performance exhaust, Indian half-low intake. Probably most likely a stage 1 tune by Indian from my guess. And it definitely has some get up and go. It's a 116. Probably, I'd say, I'm not sure on the horsepower. Indian doesn't advertise that. I know it's got around 126, maybe 122 to 126 foot-pounds of torque. It's definitely got some torque. I mean, I tell you, it pulls really good. I've just got it since I've had it. I've rode it a little bit, you know, around locally, just getting used to it. It handles really well. I mean, I test rode some of these, demoed some of these bikes, the Challengers and the Chieftains, and Indian's done a really good job of their weight distribution for these heavy Badger bikes. I mean, they handle really good. Very nimble. I mean, it does really well. Let's take our standard loop that we usually do. Gonna go the opposite direction this time. On some back roads, you know, just riding, getting used to it. You know, comes in around, the weight wet, I think comes in around 820 pounds. You know, it's about close to 250 or so more, over 200 more pounds than my Scout is. But I tell you, I mean, like I said, is for being such a heavy bike, you'd be really surprised of how well these things handle. Really got me itching to want to ride this thing so much more. I mean, I know, you know, we're getting into fall, the days are getting shorter, so the riding time is kind of limited for me. You know, I don't get to ride as much as I want to. I'm super excited about, you know, riding next year and planning some trips. You know, being able to ride this on long trips and stuff now too. Super excited about that. I would say there, you know, this is a used bike, so not everything, you know, when you get a bike is perfect. So there are some issues with it. And one of the first things is this windshield right here. Of course, you know, the Indians have the windshield, the motorized windshields that go up and down and all that. Well, one of the problems in these particular years,
21 through 23, 24. I don't know if the 24s are fixed on the bagger bikes and all, but they got the windshield motor. It's like this little plastic gear that gets worn out, and you know, you have to take the part of the fairing off to fix it. The part you can get a part for it to fix it. It's like, I think they CNC it and make it. It's like 50, 60 bucks. Or you can buy the whole entire motor replacement from Indian itself for probably, you know, a couple $100 or so. But it does have a recall bulletin on it, but I doubt Indian's going to honor it, you know, since this bike is out of warranty. So we'll see. A couple sweeping turns. And I will say, you know, I'm not afraid to lean this bike. I mean, I'm very confident in it. I mean, I'll tell you one thing I will say is that when I picked this bike up and I went and looked at it and I talked to the gentleman, he asked me, he said, hey, you know, Nick, do you want to, you know, test ride this around the neighborhood? And I admit I was a little nervous about it at first. Not necessarily nervous about riding it, you know, at higher speeds, at like on the interstate or something like that, because, you know, as you know, once you get going with a big heavy bike, it's just like any other bike. So I was kind of nervous about riding it, you know, at slow speeds. But, you know, we took it around his neighborhood and we rode, and, you know, it was a lot of stop and go, turns, and, you know, traffic and stuff like that. And I thought I did really good. After I was on it for a couple minutes, I was like, this isn't that bad, you know, at all. I mean, you go back to the basics of riding a motorcycle, your clutch control, your rear brake, you know, different mental things that you do, you know, mentally, muscle memory. So it was super easy once I got going with this thing and I learned how to handle it. It wasn't that bad. I'm not gonna admit I'm not perfect. I'm still learning, so I don't want to get myself overconfident about it. But for the way it's set up, and the way Indian made these bikes, they made them super easy to ride. So that's, like I said, guys, that's pretty much the introduction to my new, to me, used motorcycle. So the final question is, you guys are probably wondering, what about the Scout? Well, and so y'all wonder what happened to my Scout? Well, it's still here. I'm not gonna let go of my Scout, of course not. That's what my channel is based off of, right? So yeah, I love my Scout. Had a blast with it, and I'm going to continue to have a blast with it. I'm probably going to keep the riding for my Scout more local, you know, probably more here in Virginia, and do more of my long distance riding with my bigger bike now. I'm still, like I said, I'm still getting used to it, you know, building my confidence, more comfortable, you know, with, like I said, with the weight. Indian does a great job with weight distribution on these heavy baggers. You'll be really surprised at how well these bikes handle. I mean, I myself, when I did the demo for some of these baggers for the Challenger and the Chieftain, I was really surprised at how well they handled. You know, comparison, I mean, it's almost like being on my Scout. You can tell the weight is there when you first get on the bike, but after you get moving, it ain't no problem at all. So, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Had a lot of fun making it. I've been keeping this secret for a while, so I was really excited to finally reveal the new addition to the garage, the new addition to the TechNick Rides channel. So hope y'all enjoyed it, and I hope y'all have a fantastic day, a fantastic week, and if you're still out there riding, then continue to ride safe, and I'll see you next time.